Hi everybody, this is Marco Blom. Welcome back to my shop. This is the second video in a series that I'm using to build a reproduction of this Moroccan table. In the first video, I showed you how I built the top in an octagon shape. In this video, what I'm going to show you is that by using a template and some consistent measurements, I was able to turn 4 of these legs that look very similar to the original, and also 4 of these little posts that are going to go right here into the middle of the table system. So stick around and I'll show you how I put all of this together. Thanks. I started by cutting a piece of laminate the exact same width and height as one of the legs, and then using a caliper, taking measurements at all the key spots and transferring those measurements onto the piece of laminate. In the end, I had an exact profile of the leg. Using my bandsaw, I cut the profile on one side of the template, which made it easier to transfer reference points onto my blank. Using the template, I transferred my first points onto the blank. In this case, we're going to start by cutting the shoulders. So I place where the shoulders are going to be and mark those using a speed square. Using a skew, I mark where the bottom of the shoulders are going to be, and then I do an angle cut to enhance the shoulder itself. I have one cut like that on the top, and I have 2 more on the bottom of the leg. The rest of the leg is going to follow a cylindrical shape. So I'm marking right now where I'm going to be making depth cuts of 4 centimeters in depth using my template and marking those with a speed square. I'm going to use a parting tool to cut to a depth of 4 centimeters. And once I've got the initial cut done, I'll use a roughing gouge to remove most of the material. With most of the material removed, I'm going to go back to my skew and clean up the shoulders to make them really nice and sharp. I'm now back using the template, and I'm going to be working next on the top rounded ball of the leg. So at this point, I'm marking some reference points that are 4 centimeters in depth, and using my parting tool, I will do that depth cut once more, clean it up. And at this point, with all my reference points identified and the proper maximum depth also identified to 4 centimeters, I'm using a variety of tools to shape the details of the top of the leg. Let's watch. The next part of the leg is to turn the middle cylinder. If you recall, I had made reference marks that were 4 centimeters in diameter at the top and at the bottom.
I'm just now cleaning up the material so that I have 4 centimeters diameter in the whole length of the cylinder. So back with the template. On the top and the bottom of the cylinder, there are 4 decorative lines. I'm marking those lines right now. I will next use a skew to cut those lines, and then using a piece of melamine countertop, I'm going to burn those lines into the piece, making the decoration even more visible and beautiful. The next step is to define and cut the small ball that is below the cylinder and atop the bottom shoulder. Again, using my template, I'm marking all my reference lines, and then using a variety of tools, I will go ahead and cut that ball. Let's watch. It's now time to focus on the bottom part of the leg. Again, the maximum diameter is 4 centimeters, so I'm going to mark those reference points first on the bottom, and using a parting tool and a caliper, I will cut to those points. Then, using various tools, I'm going to start shaping the rest of the leg. Let's watch. The final shaping is the bottom of the leg. Once this is done, I'm going to turn over to sanding. I will start with 150, move my way right up to 400 grit. All I have to do is do 3 more of those, and I'm good. For the middle posts, the technique is similar and in some cases slightly different. I'm still using the template to mark where the initial shoulder is going to be, using a speed square as well to accentuate those lines. But I am using my check to hold the piece in place and make my cuts. So similar to the main legs, I'm going to use my skew to cut the shoulders, and then using a parting tool, I'm going to cut to a depth of 4 centimeters in diameter just below those shoulders. Once the depth cut to 4 centimeters is done, I will use my skew once more to clean up the shoulders and use a roughing gouge to remove the excess material at the bottom of the post. The template is no longer useful at this point. I'm just using a simple ruler to identify the marks where the top and the bottom of my ball shape is going to be. Also helps that I've got a working prototype that I want to mimic. So once these marks are put in place, it's just a simple question of reducing the amount of material to the right diameter and just shaping the ball. Let's watch. Final step is just using my skew to slowly take away the final material and release that last little nub. The last post is done. Well, there you have it. We've made a lot of good progress. In the next video, this should all be coming together. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.